the murders of legendary Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his wife Michele Singer Reiner shocked America and left the entertainment world in disbelief. Known for iconic films like The Princess Bride, Stand By Me, and When Harry Met Sally, Rob Reiner was considered one of the most respected filmmakers in Hollywood. His wife, Michele Singer Reiner, was known as a talented photographer, producer, and activist who spent decades supporting charitable causes and social justice work alongside her husband. For years, the couple appeared to have a loving family and a peaceful life in their luxurious Brentwood home in Los Angeles. But behind the fame and success, their family was reportedly struggling with years of emotional pain, addiction problems, and mental health issues involving their son, Nick Reiner. In December 2025, that hidden struggle allegedly exploded into horrifying violence. On December 14, 2025, the peaceful Reiner family home became the scene of a brutal double homicide. According to investigators, Rob Reiner and Michele Singer Reiner were found dead inside their Brentwood residence after suffering multiple stab wounds. The horrifying discovery was reportedly made after concern grew when family members could not reach the couple. Their daughter, Romy Reiner, eventually entered the home and discovered a terrifying scene that would change the family forever. Emergency services were called immediately, but by the time paramedics arrived, both victims were already dead. The Los Angeles Police Department quickly launched a homicide investigation, and news of the murder spread across the country within hours. Hollywood was left stunned. Rob Reiner had spent decades shaping American cinema and television. Millions of people grew up watching his films, while others admired his outspoken political activism and humanitarian work. Michele Singer Reiner was equally respected for her photography, producing work, and advocacy. Tributes from actors, filmmakers, politicians, and fans flooded social media as people struggled to understand how such a tragedy could happen. As investigators examined the crime scene, attention quickly turned toward the couple's son, Nick Reiner. According to reports, Nick had struggled for years with severe substance abuse and mental health problems. He had openly discussed his addiction battles in interviews before the tragedy, revealing that he entered rehabilitation programs many times starting from a young age. Reports claimed his addiction eventually led to homelessness and repeated instability throughout his adult life. Family members reportedly spent years trying to help him recover, while also deal with increasingly difficult behavior. Police later revealed that Nick Reiner was arrested shortly after the murders near the University of Southern California. Prosecutors accused him of killing both of his parents in a violent knife attack inside their home. Authorities charged him with 2 counts of first-degree murder with special circumstances because there were multiple victims involved. The allegations shocked the nation because of both the brutality of the crime and the tragic fact that the suspect was the victim's own son. Investigators stated that both Rob and Michele died from multiple sharp force injuries inflicted with a knife. According to reports released by the medical examiner, the attack was extremely violent and both victims died within minutes. Detectives believe the murders happened during the early morning hours before the bodies were discovered later that afternoon. Evidence collected from the home reportedly pointed toward a deeply personal and emotional attack rather than a random crime. As details emerged, media outlets began reporting on the troubled history between Nick Reiner and his family. Some reports claimed there had been arguments and emotional tension in the days leading up to the killings. Sources close to the investigation suggested Nick's mental state had become increasingly unstable before the attack. There were also reports that he had recently been prescribed medication connected to schizophrenia treatment. However, investigators continued examining whether addiction, mental illness, emotional conflict, or a combination of all three may have played a role in the alleged murders. The tragedy became one of the most talked about crime stories in America because it involved a famous Hollywood family known publicly for success, creativity, and activism. Many people found it difficult to understand how a family admired by millions could become connected to such horrifying violence. Criminal psychologists and media commentators discussed the case extensively, focusing on issues involving addiction, untreated mental illness, family pressure, and emotional breakdowns inside wealthy or famous households. Some experts pointed out that fame and money do not protect families from emotional suffering or dangerous personal crises. Court proceedings attracted enormous public attention. During Nick Reiner's first court appearances, he reportedly appeared emotionally detached and spoke very little. Prosecutors argued that the evidence strongly supported the murder charges, while defense attorneys focused on his history of mental illness and addiction problems. Questions quickly emerged about whether the case could eventually involve an insanity defense or mental competency evaluations. The court also considered the possibility of the death penalty because the case involved multiple murders with aggravating circumstances. Meanwhile, friends and loved ones continued mourning the devastating loss of Rob and Michele Reiner. Celebrities across Hollywood describe Rob as a creative genius whose films shaped generations of audiences. Political leaders praise his activism and dedication to social causes. Michele Singer Reiner was remembered as compassionate, intelligent, artistic, and deeply supportive of charitable organizations. Their deaths left an enormous emotional impact not only on family and friends, but also on millions of fans worldwide who had admired their work for decades. The case also reignited conversations about addiction and severe mental illness in America. Many observers noted that Nick Reiner's struggles had reportedly been ongoing for years. Some questioned whether stronger intervention or treatment could have prevented the tragedy. Others discussed how difficult it can be for families to manage loved ones facing serious addiction and psychiatric conditions. Experts emphasize that although mental illness can influence behavior, the vast majority of people suffering from mental health conditions never commit violent crimes. Still, the case highlighted the devastating consequences that can occur when emotional instability, substance abuse, and family conflict spiral out of control. For many people, one of the most heartbreaking aspects of the case was the fact that Rob and Michele reportedly spent years trying to help their son recover from his struggles. Interviews from earlier years showed the family openly discussing addiction recovery and emotional hardship. Rob Reiner himself had spoken publicly about supporting his son through treatment programs and difficult life experiences. That history made the allegations even more tragic because the victims were not strangers. They were parents who had reportedly spent years trying to save their child from self-destruction. As the legal case continues, the murders of Rob Reiner and Michele Singer Reiner remain one of the most shocking celebrity crime stories in recent American history. The tragedy destroyed an entire family and ended the lives of two people widely respected across Hollywood and beyond. Investigators continue working to fully understand what happened inside the Brentwood home on the night of the killings, while the public remains haunted by the disturbing nature of the crime. The deaths of Rob and Michele Reiner also serve as a painful reminder that behind fame, success, and public admiration, families can still face private battles hidden from the world. Addiction, mental illness, emotional trauma, and unresolved conflict can quietly grow for years before reaching a breaking point. In this case, prosecutors believe that breaking point resulted in unimaginable violence. Today, millions continue remembering Rob Reiner for the unforgettable films and stories he gave to the world, while Michele Singer Reiner is remembered for her artistic work, compassion, and activism. Their tragic deaths shocked Hollywood, devastated loved ones, and became a chilling reminder of how family tragedy can unfold even inside the homes of the rich and famous.